Welcome back to Squawk Box this morning. Disney unveiling its list of movies and shows coming to its streaming platform, Disney Plus, next month. The lineup dropping the same week as Netflix earnings, which will be reported after the closing bell today. Joining us right now to discuss whether this is an inflection point in the streaming wars, Matt Blank, Director of Cumulus Media and former Chairman and CEO of Showtime. It's nice to see you this morning.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
So do we think this is an inflection point? What are we going to hear today?
You know, I think it's a pre-inflection point. It's pre-season. The amazing thing to me about all of these new streaming services, the amount of time that is spent talking about them here in the press, none of them have launched yet. They're all press releases. They're all PowerPoint presentations. We really have to give these services a time to get centered in the marketplace. So I don't really think it's an inflection point when Disney launches. The inflection point may be 2 years from now, 3 years from now.
But hasn't the inflection point already happened in that Apple, Disney, everybody's already started paying up for the content because all of this stuff has to get created to build these libraries?
Yeah, but that's not an inflection point financially in terms of what these businesses are really going to be.
On the capital side, though.
On the capital side it is, but we don't know how successful they're going to be. And then I think a great question is if a year from now Disney has 30 million subscribers, are they going to be valued the same way Netflix is? Or is Netflix going to be valued more like Disney?
So I'll tell you the answer, no.
Yeah.
So as a betting man, what's your answer, though?
My answer is no. I think you're going to have a kind of a restructuring of the valuation of all of these services.
And that means that the valuation of Netflix comes down materially in your mind?
I think it has to.
That was my question.
And it has been.
Has Netflix stock seen its highs for the rest of eternity?
Look, I'm not an analyst. I'm sure you're going to have a bunch of analysts on after the bell today. But I think with all of these players in the business, you're going to have more of a standard of what's a reasonable multiple for these companies and these businesses.
How did the big bulls sort of fend off that criticism that Netflix that there were going to be was going to be a crowded field eventually, and they still ran it up there, and they get really nasty?
You have to give them tremendous credit for doing that.
Because there's no moat there, is there?
Well, I think at this point the moat is
size,
the number of subscribers they have.
That's a slow bleed there, and the moat goes away.
Everybody matures eventually, and we'll see what that means.
But does that mean that the margin, you're going to look at Disney,
Yeah,
are you going to look at Disney a year from now with 30 million subscribers, if you think that number is realistic, and say, A, that's success? Like, what is going to be success for a Disney or a success for an Apple? In
the early stages, success is going to be how many subscribers you have. And that's really been the measure for Netflix all these years. But at some point in time, you're going to have to look at what are the transfer economics. A lot of these legacy media businesses, those were good businesses. And without the type of costs that are involved in these streaming businesses.
So here's my legacy question before you go. AT&T, a lot of debt on that company. There's obviously activists involved now with Elliott Management. What do you think happens?
Not everybody's going to be successful. If I had to bet on anybody, I'd bet on Disney. AT&T, we don't know. We haven't seen anything yet. How harsh is the ultimate outcome of DirecTV for that company?
Right. Although they can sell things that are worth a lot.
And remember one thing, though. They have an existing franchise that is successful, and that's called HBO.
Time Warner and HBO.
That's called HBO. So they go into these businesses with an existing success story.
Right.
Okay. Matt Blank, it's great to see you this morning.
Thank you.